All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm Fabio Mezzogori, and this is the financial market preview. Thank you so much for joining me. And if this is the first time you are watching this video and you are asking what the heck it is, this financial market preview, this video is just meant to be a quick recap of all the highlights that happened in the financial market in this previous week, and a quick sneak peek of what could happen, okay, and the keyword here is could happen in the market in this upcoming week. With that being said, if this is the first time you are watching it and you are like the idea of what I'm gonna be talking about in this video, please don't forget to smash that like button for me so you help the algorithm to spread this message and this video actually out to more and more people. And also, don't forget to subscribe so you will not miss out any new episode. With that being said, let me crack on and start to talk about the market and what happened in this previous week. The market in general has been pretty choppy, okay, across the board. I trade multiple asset classes and they've been pretty choppy across the board. So the absolute winner, if you like, of this previous week has been crude oil. As you might already know by now, on Monday evening, UK time, London time, the price of crude oil for the contract month of May in the future market plummeted well below zero, touching about minus 36 and something. So if you're asking why this happened, this is because of multiple reasons. First of all, we've got the coronavirus situation. And then apart from that, due to coronavirus, there is less and less space available for crude oil. And, all these combined together led to a plummeting price of crude oil touching below zero. Now, in the real economy, nothing will happen because the future market, where this price was trading below zero, about 98% of the market participants of this market, such as the future market, are people like me or like yourself, such as speculator. Okay, so they don't want the delivery and they were just trying to get rid of their long position before the contract's expiration, which was the 21st of April. So with that being said, they didn't want to roll over their position over the upcoming month, such as the current month, aka the June contract in the future market, and they just tried to get rid of all their long position, and this led to a price going below zero. But in the real economy, apart from the fact that there is a glut of crude oil everywhere across the board, nothing really happened, because if you're going to see now the price of crude oil in the current front month, which is June, it's trading about $15 a barrel, so nothing really happened in the real economy. With that being said, there is nothing too much I can talk about of what happened in this previous week, because really nothing major happened. So let me go ahead and start to share with you the charts in order for giving you some potential hint of what could happen in the market in this upcoming week based upon what happened in this previous week. So let's starting off with the S&P 500. From a daily point of view, we don't have really too much to talk about. However, if we gonna go on a lower time frame, such as on a 4-hour charts, as you can see here, let me just, do a little bit thicker, maybe too much. We are pretty much into a consolidation area, okay? So if you're looking from this high to this low, even though we are coming from this low here, so you can say that in the long term we are in an uptrend, I absolutely agree with you. In the short term, such as intraday, we are in a consolidation area. So when this market starts to consolidate in this way, I put my hat consolidation trading on, if you like, and I start to look for consolidation areas, consolidation patterns in order to get involved in the market. As far as I am concerned, this market at the moment, which is the S&P 4-hour chart of the S&P, is creating an advanced pattern or a harmonic pattern, as you might call it, in the forms of Gartley pattern. So the completion of this pattern right here is going to be 127 extension of this leg here. Okay, so we've got, let me draw it for you. we've got X, A, B, C, D up here. Completion at 28.69.25. Okay, so this is the completion of this pattern right here. And this could be one of the potential entry that I'm gonna be looking for in the upcoming week in order to capitalize on the market on this market if it start to pressing down from this point onwards until area 2800 roughly, and maybe even farther. It depends on the volatility and what the market is going to tell me when it will come. So this is what we have on the S&P 500 4-hour chart. And also, if you want to drop down another time frame, such as we're gonna go on a 60-minute chart, we have also completing in the same area around 28.68 another pattern in the forms of butterfly pattern. Okay, so if we have different legs. So from the 4-hour chart, we took the trade from this leg right here. Okay, so we've got X, A, B, C, and the completion. Okay, on a 60 minutes, we can also take this leg right here, starting from this X point right here, and we've got X, A, oh, actually, let me draw this with a triangle tool, you can see better. X, A, B, C, D, completion right around the same exact area. So you've got two reasons for entry this market right here at the same exact point, based upon let's say if you trade on a 4-hour, if you trade intraday, or if you have time to trade off of a 60 minutes or maybe even a smaller time frame. This is what could happen in the S&P, and the only for me at the moment reason to let's say look for an entry reason for selling this market right around 28.69. Now, being all this market correlated with each other, we have the same exact thing also on the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones. So let me just share with you these two charts right here. There you go. This is the Nasdaq 60-minute, and as you can see, we have absolutely the same thing. We have, you know, X, A, B, C, and the completion about right around this area here of 89.20. Let me just double check. There you go, a little bit shorter in area 2089.07. And the same thing goes for the 4-hour chart. Okay, we've got our Gartley pattern completion at the same level. Okay, let me just change this color in yellow so you can see better. There you go. So Nasdaq, exactly the same thing. We are coming in an uptrend, as you can see. So this is gonna be a kind of counter trend trade, if you like. I don't know if you trade counter trend, this could be your trigger or one of the reasons why you should look for a selling opportunity into this market. And the same thing is gonna be for the Dow Jones. Okay, in this case, it's gonna be on the 4-hour time frame. Let me just draw it a little bit thicker. There you go. You've got X, A, B, C, D right around this area right here. Let me check. Boom. Okay, guys. So in S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, we have the same signal because, as far as you know, all of them are correlated roughly with each other, so they tend to move all together. So if one is going to happen in one market, probably is going to happen also in all the other, let's say, two markets. Now, moving on to another market, this time let me talk about the crude oil market. Okay, starting from a 4-hour chart, or actually, let me start from the daily. Where it is? There you go. So on a daily chart, we are the red line you can see here, vertical red line you can see here is the starting of the 2020. And by the time I'm speaking, we are down about 72% from open to close. Okay, so we are pretty down, we are pretty heavy down in this market right here. At the moment, the market is currently trading in a downtrend, as you can see from the channel I have plotted on the chart. However, all the sellers that brought the market down in area $86 per barrel are now, let's say, getting rid of their selling position and are now buying back and taking profit off of their position. So as you can see now, at the moment, the market is approaching previous X support, now turning in potential resistance in area 2164. If we drop down a time frame on a 240 or 4 hour, we can start to build a case in order to prepare for a short position, because I'm trying to say I'm going to be looking for a short position in this market right here. At the moment, I don't have a specific point. However, if you start to build up your case, as you can see, we have 618 retracement lining up with, say, in the same area. Let me do this a little bit thicker. As you can see, we've got 618 retracement right around the same area. We've got previous structure coming from the daily, X support now potentially turning into resistance. And at the same area, we've got also 22 even handle right here. Okay, let me draw this for you. Okay, so in this area right here, we already have 3 reasons why this market could act as a potential resistance at that point in time. Now, with that being said, if we drop down another time frame and we're gonna go on a 60-minute, we can see a little bit better and clearer that at the moment, as you can see, the market was trading pretty heavily, I would say down, and at the moment is moving in the opposite direction, creating this kind of ebbs and flow, if you like. We created this kind of, I don't want to call it double bottom, but you got the idea. We created this kind of double bottom, and from that point on, we start to trade in the opposite direction, creating new higher high every time. At the moment, as you can see, we are in a kind of consolidation area. So what I'm going to be looking for in terms of buying this market up to this point here is a breakthrough this previous or current actually consolidation and some sort of entry reason in the same area. As you can see, we already have even handle in terms of $18 along with current resistances. Okay, we've got multiple resistance up to this point here, and if this resistance will be broken, then they could act as a potential support where I'm going to be looking to buy this market up to this point here. So I'm going to be, let's say, helping, if you like, this market to go up to area 22 even handle along with other potential resistance levels. And I'm going to be looking for an entry reason in this area right here. If you want to know which is going to be the entry reason, the market is not there, so I still don't know. An entry reason for me could be anything, okay? Anything that will let me to think that the market is running out of steam in that specific area. That could be, for example, a reversal bar, could be a double top, double bottom, an advanced pattern in the forms of Gartley, bat, cipher, or butterfly, whatever it might be. At this point in time, again, I don't have a specific reason. The only thing I know is that I'm not going to be placing a limit order up there. So I let the market telling me that it's running out of steam, and then I'm going to be looking for an entry reason right around this area here between 22 and 23 even handle. Okay? With that being said, let's move on to natural gas from a daily. As you can see, this is a daily continuation of natural gas, which is one of the underlying in my personal portfolio. I've got more than 14 underlying assets in my portfolio. We had this test on the downward trend line right around the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. And at the same level, we had this pattern completion in forms of the Gartley pattern. As you can see, we had these, let me draw it for you so you can see better, with XAB, see the completion about in this area right here. Let me just draw it for you a little bit higher. There you go. In this specific case, the market didn't touch 127. However, if you are about to trade this pattern here. As you can see, the market just stopped at exactly 21 even handle. And I'm in the market long enough to say that all these kind of levers are nothing mystical, okay, nothing mysterious. However, they act as a support and resistance in terms of psychological point of view. So if you know all this kind of information, you might have placed your order just right below even handle, maybe 97 or 98 or whatever it might be, and you would have gotten filled right around the area there. Now, this pattern is done and dust. I just wanted to give you an idea of what happened at the beginning of this week in natural gas. If now we're gonna go on a lower time frame, this is the 4-hour chart. We have at market another potential pattern formation in the forms of Gartley down in this area right here. We tested our 618 retracement. We had then our 127 extension lining up exactly with the current price. Actually, if this market will reopen as it is and is, let's say, is not gonna gap down this previous structure support, this is a buying order at market. This is gonna be, I think, on Monday. Okay, if I'm gonna be drawing this for you, we have XAB, CD, completion down right at 1881. It depends on how you're gonna place this stop this time. Your stop is going to be exactly in one of the previous potential support, so it's not the best place to have your stop loss. However, if you want to see in the big picture, we also have another pattern starting from this X point here in the forms of bat pattern this time. X, A, B, C, D completion down here. Let me just color this another color in yellow. Okay, so based upon how you trade this pattern and how you backtested this kind of entry reason, you might want to take the Gartley or the bat based upon the stop loss. So for my case, I do prefer having my stop loss below previous support, so I'm gonna be taking the bat pattern in this situation. However, it depends on you and how you have backtested this pattern right here. Now, coming down to a lower time frame and deleting all this kind of stuff now so you're not gonna get confused, we are now trading in a downtrend. As far as I am reading the market, is now the natural gas is now trading in a downward market. As you can see, we were trading up, okay, until this point right here, bang. Then eventually, market created this kind of V shape or double top, broken through previous, let me draw with an arrow, we broke through previous potential support, we came back into the same area, creating this kind of triple top, if you like, and then we start to roll over back again down in area, let's say 1865-ish, breaking through previous support once again. Now, all the markets, all the area that once was support, probably will become resistance. So now this market, what I'm gonna be looking for at the moment, if this market wants to come back into the same area, I'm gonna be looking to sell this market right around previous X support, now potential resistance. So if this market start to pressing up into this area right here, about 1935-ish, as you can see, we've got multiple reasons where this market stopped right here. Okay, multiple support and resistance all together. Even if you go even a little bit backward, we've got also right here resistance, broken through, turn it into support. Now it's broken through, and chances are for me that if the market is gonna go back again into this area, chances are for me that it's gonna be some sort of selling pressure here in order to press down this market even farther than where it is at the moment. So this is gonna be my, let's say, trading plan for the natural gas next week. Now, moving on to another market, let me show you the chart of the pound dollar. Now, pound dollar, there is nothing we can talk about. We are in a kind of choppy situation. This is the 60-minute chart of the pound dollar. We are in a choppy situation, and when we are in a choppy situation, what I'm gonna be looking for is some kind of entry in the forms of advanced pattern. And in this case, we have another potential advanced pattern in the forms of Gartley. We've got our X to A to B, B to C, and CD completion in area 24 even handle. Now, this is not one of the best pattern ever, okay, it's been chopped through a little bit. However, the beauty of the completion right around this area here is that there are multiple reasons of entry. We've got our Gartley pattern completion, we've got right around the same area, we've got even handle, and if I'm gonna be drawing a kind of rectangle in the same area, okay, right, let's say here to the X point, as you can see, this market already reacted multiple times in the same area. So you've got multiple reasons why this is going to be a good area in order for me to look for a short opportunity. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. This market could easily blow through these current resistance levels, so no one knows. However, if there will be some kind of selling pressure in this area, this is going to be, for me, a good point for to look for a short opportunity. Now, this is the only opportunity I have on pound. Moving on to another market, we've got the Australian dollar, also on the 60 minutes. And in this case, I have two potential entry reasons. One is with the trend, okay? As you can see, let me show you with, what I mean by that. We've got our series of higher high and higher close. At the moment, we are trading right around our previous potential resistance. Now, with that being said, the market at this point could do easily two things. Could break through and create a new higher high, or could easily hold where it is and start to roll over back down again. Okay? With that being said, if this market will break through previous potential resistance, current potential resistance, then what I'm gonna be looking for is a kind of pullback into the same area. And again, here, as it is in the pound example, if we are looking in the same area, I have multiple reasons why this market should act as a support once broken. We've got previous structure right here. If I draw a line, we also have 64 even handle. We've got previous structure again and again in the same area. So this is a good sign for me that this market could likely act as this level, could act as a support in order for me to try and ride this market up around 64.46, which is previous structure resistance high. Okay? If this won't happen and this market, let's say, hold where it is at the moment, another good entry reason for me is going to be, let me delete all this stuff so you can see clearly. Another entry reason that we could have in this market here comes in the forms of an advanced pattern. Again, this time in the forms of what is called bat pattern. We've got X, A, B, C, D completion down at 886 at 60 to 97. Why this time is a bat and not a Gartley, if you might ask? This is because of the B leg. Okay, if the B leg touches the 50% fib retracement, but will not touch the 618 retracement, then I will consider this pattern being a bat rather than a Gartley. So the completion of a bat pattern compared to the Gartley is that is a little bit deeper down towards the X leg. In this case, it's 886 down at 60 to 97. At the same level, again, we are just below 63 even handle. So you've got two reasons why this market is, say, this is gonna be an entry, a good entry reason. So if this market will trade above this level, trade and close above this level, then I'm gonna be looking for a buying opportunity right around this area to ride this market up towards 64.46. Or if this market won't, let's say, break and close below this level, I'm gonna be looking for an entry reason in the forms of the bat pattern down at 62.97. Now, if you trade the commodities, then there is another interesting trade for you. This time is gonna be on the 60-minute chart of the soybean future, and also in this case is gonna be at market in case you are not in already, and this pattern comes in the forms of a butterfly. Let me talk about a little bit this market right here. As you can guess, we were coming into, we were in a downtrend, then eventually this market start to roll over, okay, and finally broke through our previous shelf right here in area 851.75, and at the moment, in the way I read the market, this market is choppy. Okay, it's not moving. There is no a specific direction where this market is moving, and actually, at the same point, we also have this kind of head and shoulders, okay, which has been already completed in this area right here. This is gonna be our next neckline, and has been broken already. And now, in the way I read the pattern, the market, let me delete a little bit of this stuff right here and get focus on the final part of the chart. Again, at market at the moment, so if the market will reopen on Sunday evening around the same price, this is gonna be a screaming buying opportunity in the forms of butterfly. So the butterfly, why I consider this pattern being a butterfly and not a Gartley or a bat or any other pattern is because, again, of the B leg. Okay, we've got X to A to B, B to C, and CD completion was about this area right here. Now, the butterfly, in order for me to consider a butterfly, the B leg must touch 786 from X to A. Okay, as long as this pattern touches 786 and won't close or say break below the X point, I will consider it being a butterfly. With that being said, the butterfly completion in the way I trade butterfly is a to B extension, okay, Fibonacci extension, and the completion for me is within this area right here, okay, between 127 and 1618. If I have some kind of entry reason around of 127, then I'm gonna be looking for an entry reason at 127. If I have some entry reason around 1414, I'm gonna be looking for an entry reason at this level, and the same goes for 1618. Stop loss in this case, considering the fact that we are trading already below our X point, must be something below our final entry point, so something below 1618. Now, with that being said, my entry reason in this specific situation, this specific market, was that at 1414 we had also previous support. So in this case, I have two reasons to enter this market. We've got our butterfly completion. Let me draw it for you so you can see clearly. X, A, B, C down here. And we have also previous structure support right at the same level as it is 1414. Now, with that being said, there is no right or wrong answers. You can decide to enter with a limit order. You can decide to wait and see how the market reacts at the same level, within the level, okay, in the same area. At the moment, for me, this is going to be a screaming buy at market as long as won't gap down 1618. My stop loss is going to be exactly 2-3 ticks below 1618 in this specific situation because I've got my entry reason here. So if this market blow through 1618 and close below out my entry, then there is no point for me, let's say, staying in the trade. Now, moving on to another market, let me show you the corn. Now, on a daily time frame and also on the 4-hour charts as we are currently looking for, we are definitely in a downtrend. Okay. Now, with that being said, I also draw for you a trend line, which is a little bit nasty, but there is a trend line. And again, in this situation, at the moment we are chopping through a little bit. The downtrend is not clearly as it was before, and is now the market creating another advanced pattern, this case in the forms again of a butterfly. This case is going to be a selling opportunity, right around the same area. Let me just showing this for you. Okay, between 127 and 1618. Now, consider what I already told you before, that I am usually looking for multiple reasons of entry in the same area. What do we have at say 127? We've got this high. At 1414, we've got this high, and at 1618, we don't really have anything because the next point is gonna be right around this area right here. So we are well beyond 1618. For me, as far as my knowledge goes and as far as I have been stopped out many times, when you have, let's say, when you have multiple areas of support, or in this case of resistance, one after each other, okay, markets, generally speaking, will take them all out, okay? Because market participants knows that there are potential, let's say, buying order, okay, above this area right here, which are considered to be, stop loss of previous sellers, along with other potential buyers that are interested to buy in this market and capitalize for potential price increase. With that being said, we have, let me delete all these lines again. Right around the same area, we've got 1414 once again, and this time, again, I'm gonna be looking for an entry reason right around 1414, okay? This is gonna be my entry reason in case it's gonna happen on the 4-hour charts on the corn market. Now, if you wanna drop down another time frame, we also have, in the same direction, another advanced pattern in the forms of cipher pattern. We've got our XA, B, C, the completion about at 786. This time, okay, perfect. Okay, this is gonna be our first pattern. In case this market is gonna, let's say, blow through our X point, another interesting pattern will happen here. And this is called shark. Okay, we've got multiple reasons why this market should trade around these areas right here. And the shark pattern is going to be completed at 113 inversion of X to C. And the cipher pattern is going to be completed at 786 from X to C. So we got two reasons why we should enter this market in the next week if this is going to happen. Okay, I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm just saying if the market starts to roll over into this area right here, those two could be potential entry point for me to get involved in this market right here. And if the market will blow through all of them and stop me out every time, my last chance for entry, as far as I am concerned at the moment, is gonna be my butterfly on the 4-hour time frame around this area here at 340. Okay, guys, so for this video is more than enough. I went through all the potential entry point that could happen in the upcoming week in the market, let's say with the knowledge we have at the moment. Then eventually next week, as usual, the market can do whatever it wants at any point in time. So if you like what I just showed you, and you want me to even improve further, or giving you much more information, and you're interested for me to do that, please let me know in the comment below how can I improve this financial market preview. And also, if you have any kind of specific market that you want to talk about, you want me to talk about, or some specific entry reason, or I don't know, whatever it comes to your mind, and you are interested for me to do that, please let me know in the comment below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button for me until it turns blue like the sky, or actually like the ocean, because it's blue, much more like the ocean than the sky. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't be missed out any new episode. This is Fabio Mezzagori once again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I put a lot of valuable information here on YouTube that help you to move the needle towards financial freedom or financial independence. So if you'd like me to notify you every time a new video is up, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you will not miss any new episode. And also, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.